I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, you can hear me. I'm here with my, I don't know if illustrious is a good word. My dear friend, what do you want to be called?
James, uh,
Give me an actual
Crow,
name, not some nonsense.
John Doe.
All right, TJ it is. So we're here with TJ. What would you want? What do you want to be called?
uh,
Monte?
no, just Tay. Just Tay is good. Tay is good.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
here with
Tay.
Tay,
That's pretty
and
good.
I'm gonna attempt to actually remember to say the name that he wants to be represented as online. I'm
I
Eric. There's
identify.
so many Erics in this country and world. You will never find me. You will never find me. Trust me. But regardless, we're going to continue.
Call me Jezebel.
I'm not calling you. What? How do you translate to that? I'm saying that there are so many Erics in this country that you will not find me. I'm just telling you. You cannot find me. Well, y'all will never know the shenanigans that he says, but I do. So anyway, that's all set. Let's read this. So we're gonna be reading an article called HUD and Section 8. I don't know what HUD's about, but Section 8. Uh, I don't even know how like the proper political way to say it, but I'll just say it's like government housing, like the government provided housing for poor people. Is that like a reasonable
Food stamps.
and food stamps? Is that like a reasonable like summary?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I've been seeing online people claiming that Trump passed some kind of new initiative to take away Section 8. And there's been people on both sides crying and wailing. Poor people of all varieties, black, white, Hispanic, everybody, all saying that they're going to be now homeless and what are they supposed to do for their kids and all these different things. And then the flip side, um, interestingly enough, having minorities on it as well, all claiming about time you guys need to get your lazy butts up and start working. Now, my position is, while I can appreciate the sentiment that people who are able-bodied should be incentivized to work, I don't think that ripping Section 8 away from people makes sense. Because it's not, like, first of all, if you're claiming that you want to get rid of a bunch of illegal immigrants that are taking all the people's jobs, you kind of got to pick your battles on what you're trying to do. So, if you think that taking away people's housing and they don't have a job and people are having a hard time finding jobs anyway, is going to
Section 8
cause.
should work like unemployment.
What'd you say?
Section 8 should work like unemployment.
I think I don't know what I would do to incentivize people to start and go work again, but like I said, you can't just rip it away like that because then if you end up with a bunch of homeless people who are starting to starve in the streets, I don't know what people think's going to happen. They're not going to despawn. They're not going to just disappear after Section 8's gone. They're going to be put in the streets. They're going to be hungry and they'll have nothing to lose. And you know what happens when you have a bunch of really hungry people with nothing to lose? They start taking from people who do have things to lose. And these people are hungry and desperate. So they'll
So
do
you want to lose
anything.
your PlayStation,
Exactly. You want to lose your nice little hot
PlayStation,
shower, PlayStation, and internet because
that
MasterCard.
GTA 6 that you're about to buy, that hard copy,
Oh my god.
gone. Because in Andre Hernandez is fucking. Now your GTA and your PS5 are getting taken.
Yeah, and it didn't have to be this way. Now,
Blame
like
the South Africans.
Okay, I don't know what he's saying there. I'm probably gonna edit that out, but we'll see.
You gotta keep the crash outs in.
I'll keep some of it, but I'm probably gonna blur it out when you cuss or when I cuss. So that's probably. I'll add some funny cartoon noise. Don't worry. I'll think of something.
It'll be funny. No, you cut it out. You cut just as I'm crashing out, so you hear like the first 5 seconds.
I know. I'm trying to think of. I'll do like the beep noise, or like I said, if I'll do like some funny cartoon.
Yeah, the bleep. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, like that. So anyway,
Beep, beep, beep.
so I'm curious. Like I said, this article is from a site called, or it will be on a site called 12gates.com, where my dear friend talks with his trusty AI little pal called Quill. I don't know.
So cool.
Yeah, Quill's the name of his AI. I don't know what
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's enough said. So
Enough
we're gonna
said.
start reading. I will read this. I'm not gonna try and have Tay read anything because God knows how that will go.
You. Matter of fact, no.
You don't have to read. It's fine. I have to read. Oh my goodness, it's fine. I was joking. I'm sorry. Okay.
So
Calm down.
mean. He's a mean man. Okay.
All
I
right.
mean, or woman. We're not gonna get political here.
I'm a man. There is only men and women. Intersex is like, I mean, it's a thing, but incredibly rare. That is my position. I'm sorry to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. If I ever build this thing out for real, then it's gonna just be like my marketing brand's just gonna be me. I think that's the simplest way to do it. So I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll probably censor stuff when I start going off the handle, but I'm not gonna like my positions on things. I'll be very forefronted with the most, or if not all of them. So just giving you a heads up. Anyway, so it starts by saying, the scribe said. I don't like
What
it
the
says
scribe
this,
said.
but so we're just gonna read this. So there's a lot of information flying around about HUD in relation to Trump and Doge, and the future of Section 8. Here's my first question: what sparked this discussion? Meaning, what event got people talking about this? Quill says, well, the recent discussions around HUD, or HUD, and Section 8 in relation to Trump seem to have been sparked by a series of administrative actions and public concerns regarding potential funding and cuts and policy changes under the Trump administration. A significant trigger was the establishment of the Department of Justice, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, led by Elon
Doggy.
Musk. It's almost always been referred to as Doge. I don't know, like, why.
I know, because he wants to be fuck him.
That out. Anyway, which included an executive directive to review and potentially reduce federal spending across departments, including HUD. I don't know what HUD is, to be honest with you. I am very
It's a section.
It's a subsection of Section 8.
I don't know, but I know there's sex app.
I don't know what it is, honestly. So, I mean, hopefully this gets clarified. In early 2025, there was a noticeable shift when funds were momentarily frozen, leading to widespread speculation and concern about the future of federal programs like Section 8, which provide housing vouchers to low-income families. This action, combined with public statements and the implementation of a new task force to review HUD's efficiency and budget, fueled the discussion and anxiety among stakeholders and beneficiaries about the potential impacts on housing assistance programs. These events highlight the broader context of the administrative reviews and push for the government efficiency under the Trump's second term, with particular focus on reducing and perceived financial waste, which has implications for programs critical to low-income individuals and families relying on federal support for housing. Has anything been said about the administration to clarify this position on HUD in Section 8? The administration has indeed made statements aimed at clarifying their position on HUD and Section 8. The creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, led by Elon Musk. I feel like he's repeating himself here, but we're going to keep reading. And subsequent actions have framed as efforts to enhance efficiency and reduce financial waste. The new HUD secretary, under the influence of DOGE, indicated that while substantial savings have been identified in agency contracts, the specifics were not disclosed. This action is part of a broader review process intended to ensure all programs, processes, and personnel align with the administration's goals of efficiency and fiscal responsibility. Moreover, despite initial fears and temporary freeze on federal funds, the administration claimed that funding for programs like Section 8 would continue as before, while policies deemed unfavorable were being reassessed. I'm very curious what that means. Like, what unfavorable policies? This suggests that while the administration is looking to modify how programs are administered to enhance efficiency, there isn't a direct intention to eliminate Section 8 entirely. Okay, so where is this coming from then? These clarifications indicate an intent to scrutinize and possibly restructure funding, but not necessarily to completely dismantle essential services like HUD. Okay, I'm just going to look up what HUD means real quick because this is define.
Heads up display.
United States Housing and Urban Development. Okay, thank you. See, was that so difficult? All right. I would have never gotten that. These clarifications indicate an intent to Yeah, I already read that. Describe said, do you have any quotes from the administration because the sources you're using don't sound very definitive? Yeah, I agree. What the heck is distractify.com and housing fund? What the hell? Never even heard of this. And he says, I understand the need for more concrete quotes. Let's look for some specific statements. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, in recent appearance, they mentioned a $260 million in savings on contracts alone. As part of Doge's efficiency review, he emphasized the need. Again, housingfinance.com, like, who are they? Is that like a known site? Is that a reputable site? These statements from the administration officials reflect a focusing on, but the administration has not said anything definitive given the attention it's receiving currently. As of the latest updates, the Trump administration has not provided definitive on the future of this. The statements have been focused on improving efficiency, and this lack of detailed communication contributes to the uncertainty among stakeholders and those reliant on these vital services. So they haven't sent anything? Are there any quotes from this administration? Long story short, no. I'm trying to understand. Reporters can't get a quote from the press secretary about this. It's a valid question whether there has been a direct quote from the press secretary. The administration officials, in response to public concerns about HUD and Section 8 amid these efficiency reviews, there are several reasons for this. Strategic communicate. So no, they have not. Are the reporters not asking the questions? If they are, what are the answers and what are the answers they are being given? Reporters have indeed been asking questions about the administration's plan for HUD and Section 8, and some responses have been given, though they lacked detailed specifics about the future of these programs. For instance, during a recent press conference and other public appearances, statements from the administration officials like HUD Secretary Scott Turner have focused more on broader goals such as increasing efficiency and reducing waste within HUD rather than explicitly detailing plans for Section 8. Secretary Turner emphasized the administration's commitment to streamlining operations. However, there hasn't been a direct response explicitly outlining changes or potential elimination of Section 8 vouchers. Describe. Now we're in part 2, which means there's a new section here. This is kind of odd, because this is like... So if nobody said anything about this, and they're just saying, we're looking at Section 8 to see how we can make it more efficient, where has this thought came from that they're eliminating Section 8? And why is it that both sides have bought into this and are like propelling it in two different narratives? You know what I'm saying? It's very odd, because typically, I thought the whole point of the conservative thing was supposed to be like, oh, we want truth, we're not delusional. Like, where are they getting this idea then that Section 8 is being canceled or terminated? Like, where is this coming from? Describe said, why do you think they won't just come out and say we're not trying to eliminate Section 8 program? Reluctance, so it might have some strategic and political reasons. Policy flexibility, not committing to a specific stance, the administration retains flexibility in policy decisions. Keeping plans ambiguous can serve as a leveraging during negotiations with Congress, stakeholders, and other government entities. Section 8 is a critical program that affects millions of low-income households. A lot more than that, to be honest with you. Any indication of significant changes or potential elimination could lead to public backlash, political opposition, and negative media coverage. Bro, that's not just negative media coverage is an understatement. Like, I don't think people understand how feral people get when their food is taken away from them. When food and shelter is taken away, I think you'll find that most people who were docile become quite violent. This is not... especially if that's what they knew their whole entire life. I'm just telling you, being honest. The administration may genuinely be in the process of reviewing effectiveness. Until they choose a confused, they might not disclose definitive information. Decisions about federal housing are highly political. The administration might be weighing the support and opposition within both public sphere and among lawmakers to gauge the best approach. The scribe said, okay, so here's the thing. I know that reporters and others will spin everything that gets said to manipulate people, but some things have to be said anyway. You're touching on a very important point. Transparent communication helps to build trust. For administration and officials, making straightforward statements like on critical issues like housing and assistance can also demonstrate accountability to public interests. Ultimately, saying some things have to be said anyway underscores the ethical responsibility of leaders to inform and clarify. In my opinion, it's not just about ethical responsibility. It's like you're causing mayhem. The scribe said, personally, I don't see them going after Section 8 recipients in general, but I think they don't want to say that because they may crack down on fraud. I also see the possibility of them going after illegal immigrants on the system. I think it's unfortunate that the administration doesn't just come out and say that because some in the party may not want to hear it, but that's what I think is happening here. The problem is, because history has shown leaders who have been given the benefit of the doubt until it's too late, we are in very untrusting times. Point blank. There's a limit to the length of your leash, Mr. President, sir. Goodness, the scribe. Don't worry, this chat won't get leaked. Your analysis captures the complexities and strategic considerations that underlie the government stuff. Addressing issues like fraud and housing can be politically sensitive. The point about leaders needs to be transparent despite political fallout is well taken. Clear and honest communication. These considerations highlight the importance of vigilance by the media, public, and other stakeholders, accountable to their policies, outcomes. Wait, what? Did I read that wrong? To hold their leaders accountable for the policies and outcomes of those policies. There we go. It's essential for a healthy democracy. Leaders communicate their intentions clearly and are held accountable for their actions.
Donald Trump, please help. Please save me, Donald Trump.
Dude, I don't even.
Please save me.
I don't even know.
Oh my god!
Like, this is just like, they definitely have put me in a position where half the time I'm like, I need to like triple look to like think like, what the heck are they talking about? Yeah. It's not in this article, but in the other articles where it talks about how like Elon and Trump's relationship in this administration, I was like, what? How is that? That's a thing? But we'll cover that another time. I'm not doing that today. We're just doing this one.
Well, I feel like he's doing, right, this is a sneak peek for the viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like he's just letting this thing damage as possible so that he can just use him as a scapegoat, pretty much. It's like, I don't know anything about it. That's what Elon did. Elon did that. I don't know anything about that. Because he's pretty much been saying that. He pretty much like, I don't know what Elon does. He's like,
way doesn't fall back. Put him in, because Trump would still be to blame, so you can't escape the responsibility, like at all.
Think so?
No, yeah, he saying that he put.
I don't know. I feel like more people are looking at, because you already have people looking at Elon Musk as like, oh, he's the real president. He's the real authority figure.
I would say that Elon's strongly influencing his decision making, but it is still Trump's call to do that. It is not like, you know what I'm saying?
I forgot what happened. Something happened recently. Like he tried to do the same shit that he did at Twitter. Like he sent out an email to like a bunch of government employees, and he's like, if you don't respond, we'll take that as like a resignation. And then Donald Trump ended up having to step in and be like, yeah, nah, disregard that last email. So that's what leads me to believe is he's doing a loose leash, and if he goes too far, I feel like that's when he kind of like reins him in, shit, like that. But he's letting him do whatever he wants, and taking credit for whatever good comes out in the end. If there's any, I feel like he'll probably end up taking credit for that shit that's happening and all the shit that's making people mad. Is automatically that blame is getting put on Elon, really on Donald Trump.
Yeah, but everybody's
looking at Donald Trump like he's just some cuck, some impotent cuck sitting in the cuck chair.
I don't think people are looking at that way. They're kind of. I mean,
you don't think so?
I don't know. I don't know what the pulse on people's perception of Trump and Elon is currently. I do know that.
It's like.
What did you say?
The media, especially painting it as, oh, they have Daedric. Ooh.
Yeah, they tearing his ass up, but
he's I don't even know.
Yeah, I think that this is why it's so tricky. Like, I do think that Trump is using him and keeping him on a short leash. I don't know that I would say that he's using him as a scapegoat because everybody's still looking directly at.
No, Trump. I'm not saying right now. Like I think later.
I don't see how he could pull that off as a scapegoat ever. Because they would always be the guy like, yeah, you're the one who put him in charge. Like, everybody gives Camilla, gives her shit over the fact that she failed at the border. But ultimately, it was. I mean, if no one ever brings it up, almost everyone's like, well, the borders are messed up, blah, 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 blah. But bottom line is, I mean, Biden put her in charge of that border. It was his administration, so it's his failure. So that's the price of being the leader, though. Wherever you are, whether it's a good outcome or bad, you are responsible because you could have made the change.
Maybe you're right.
Especially when it has to do with someone's competence. For Trump not to know that Elon himself, like, he's, for one, I mean, let's just be frank here. He's got a bit of an ego, and he's a bit unpredictable and chaotic at times. Like, he just goes and does what he does.
Yes, sir.
Kind of. Like, that's just him, though. Like, everybody kind of knows that. It's like, if you didn't figure that out from his interactions with Twitter, I'm not just saying, like, buying the company. I mean, like, literally, when he goes online and posts and trolls about buying stocks and literally millions of people, like, fall for it, it's like, get it. Clearly, he does not care. He just does whatever the hell he wants. I've never seen somebody else go into an interview and talk about, well, what if the advertisers don't want you to speak on your platform because of X, Y, and Z? And he's just like, yeah, fuck them. Literally, I've never heard another CEO do that. So I'm just saying, he's like, for better or for worse, the dude's got a bit of an ego. So, and he does whatever he wants. So it's pretty obvious that that's just like who he is. So if Trump didn't figure that out before he put him in, then it's still his fault anyway, because how could you not, like, do some kind of vetting?
Donald Trump put him in considering the merits of his character or work ethic or any of that shit. That motherfucker bought his way into that seat. He bought his way into Elon.
Tough call. I've heard the accusations that because Elon basically helped to pay for Trump's campaign, that he paid his way into that seat. But I'm not sure that's completely the case. I think it runs a little bit deeper than just Elon paying Trump to be in the seat. I don't know what kind of backroom deals they got going on here, but it certainly does feel like, I don't think Elon's like Trump and Elon are both like billionaires, bro, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that Trump just has $250 million to just throw away, but Trump's not somebody who I would say can be
use his own money.
Right. So I don't know. I couldn't fathom what the hell they're trying to accomplish right now. Like, I don't. It's one of those situations. It's like the time in the movie when you're looking and like, yeah, honestly, I don't know who the killer is. I'm waiting to see just like you.
Yeah.
So there's too many unanswered questions I have. There's just too many people lying on both sides at this point. It feels like, for me at least, every time I hear one of these conservatives talk or liberals, their takes are just like very culty, and it's like, it reminds me of Star Wars when the Emperor's just like playing both sides. So it's like the powers that be, whoever they are, I don't know who they are kind of just like playing both sides from the back end to try and position themselves to do whatever. So I can't tell if Trump was part of that plan. I mean, he probably is now, but I don't even know. Like, for me at least, in my opinion, I thought for a time Trump, I was like, he don't look like he's got the same young, spry energy as he did. I think after that second assassination attempt, he was kind of done. So I think
the man's 80 years old. It's not as spry as he used to be.
It's not just that. I think that probably came down to a simple conversation. They saw some dude who sat out at his home for like weeks at a time waiting for this dude to get an opportunity to shoot this dude. I think that was like, there's a couple signs of conversations they probably had that they'll never talk about where they're like, listen, we can see, like, it's like a conversation that I had like with my father once when he's like, yeah, if, like some creepy scenes out of a terrorist movie or something like that, where they like bring a terrorist and then they're interrogating him, and they look at him like, hey, and they start talking about his family. It's like, dude, how was your daughter's trip to Nicaragua? He's like,
oh, like they've been watching the family.
Yes, he's just like, why don't you give me a time of day, any day of the year, and I'll tell you where your family is. And they start showing footage of their family like they've always been watched. Like I'm telling you, it hits a certain point where you're going to cave. You're going to cave or get out. And Trump couldn't get out because they kind of were trying to bleed him from all of his assets. So, make no mistake, they're making this brother pay for the first time he ran. So, I don't know what they're doing now.
I feel like it's just the opposite.
What do you mean?
I feel like he's making motherfuckers pay from the last time.
I think he's going to try, but I don't. It's hard to
because I see, in my personal opinion, I see a lot of so-called authority figures or whatever kissing the ring at this point, kissing his fuck.
No, I hear you. I would agree for the most part too. But there's certain things like I don't know. My intuition like sometimes I got some decent intuition at times. So like I'm saying. There's something about his mannerisms and the way he's walking at this point where, I don't know, man.
I mean, he's old.
He's not just age. It's not just age. It looks like the look of a man who almost got killed twice and who's over it.
Okay.
I'm saying there's a little bit of a different look. Yeah, he looks tired, and he looks tired like, okay, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Okay, alright, maybe.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying you haven't been around enough to see it, but in my opinion, like you can. It's just like when you look at some old people. There's some old people where they just look old and fatigued and tired from life, and there's other ones that just look like, I don't know, man.
You're on your last legs, buddy.
Yeah, like there's someone breathing down my neck. Death is breathing down the day for my back, bro.
Death is on its way.
Yes. Alright, back to the article. It says, in the tragedy of our times, Quill, the absence of reliable media has never been worse, and the need for it has never been greater. That's a nice quote there. Absolutely, observation strikes major. Erosion of trust in the media can lead to fragments in society where individuals retreat to their information silos, often fueled by confirmation biases. The environment makes it difficult for democratic societies to make well-informed decisions. This illusion isn't as straightforward and involves a combination of media literacy, education, and journalistic integrity. This part's insanely difficult. And perhaps regulatory and technological innovations to improve information quality and accessibility. Describes as promoting a culture that values truth. That's a ship sailed long ago. That must be a quote from what he said. Sorry if I can read that. Describe. It may feel that way sometimes, especially in the era where misinformation can spread as fast as legitimate news. And the pursuit of truth often becomes secondary to the pursuit of clicks or ideological information. Yep. That sentiment of the ship of truth has sailed reflects a broader disillusionment with how information is presented and consumed, yet underscores the importance of efforts to restore and enhance value placed on truth. Though it may seem daunting, many who are committed to this cause, journalists, educators, activists, and everyday citizens who believe in the importance of well-informed information, their efforts can help steer the ship back towards a culture that values not just the truth, but the integrity of how it's shared and understood. Reviving the culture is not just about looking back to what was, but moving forward to what could be, more informed, engaged in a truthful society. The problem is, in my opinion, again, I don't think this would happen because the incentive to not tell the truth and get clicks for views or make money seems to be more prevalent than actually telling the truth. Because, to be completely honest with you, there's not that much reason to tell the truth, especially once you get to a certain height. For example, it's like a Black Mirror episode where the guy, this girl tries out to be so famous, and then this guy goes out and pretends he's like about to kill himself, or unalive himself. I don't even know what I can say, but he pretends like he's about to kill himself. I don't know. Have you seen this Black Mirror episode, Tay?
No.
Have you watched Black Mirror?
I saw the one where Captain America kisses his best friend.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that one. But there's a Black Mirror episode. I don't remember the exact name, where basically this black guy falls in love with this white girl, and she can really sing really good, and then she goes on like this, the voice equivalent in this dystopian society, sings, and basically the four chairmen who are like judging her say, you can be part of like the singing group, but you're going to have to do like an adult film first for us. So she ends up breaking under pressure, and she does it, and the guy is so like heartbroken that he works as hard as he can get to that place on stage to go before the judges, and he holds a knife up to his neck like he's about to kill himself, and then he starts telling them about how they devastated him and how they're corrupt and all these different things. And so he does all that, and then the judges are like, you know what, you seem like a really sincere person, how about we give you your own show? And then it flips to a scene where this guy's now like in this rich apartment, and he's just holding the same knife up to his neck like he's about to kill himself, and he's just ranting about things. And the whole reason why I even brought this up, because it might seem like a complete tangent, is
it does.
There is definitely incentive to tell the truth when you're coming up, because I do think people crave truth in a lot of ways, especially when it reflects like reality and what people are experiencing. But once you get to a certain height, where you could call it the big actors or the powers that be, will pay you to do something else and pay you more than what your followers would pay you, so to speak. There's a lot more incentive to just do that when you look at your competition who's doing the same exact thing. They're just telling what the people are. They're basically just telling what they're told, the people. Like they're repeating lines to the people, so to speak, or talking points. And nobody seems to care. It seems like that makes the more logical sense. Because if no one's going to care about whether or not you tell the truth anyway, it's not like people are going to protest if you go missing because you told the truth. Like, everybody in America is not going to quit their job because all of a sudden the doctor who spoke about how COVID came from a lab in China just disappeared. Nobody stopped working. No one even talks about it anymore. I don't even remember the girl's name. She's just gone. So, it does kind of hit a point where it's like, what's the incentive? Bro, another tangent, but John McAfee literally told everybody that...
Yeah, he
used to tell some truths about certain things, I'm not going to lie, and I think it came back to bite him in the butt. But he literally say, I will never kill myself. The day after he died,
literally the day after he died, there was an Instagram post that went up saying that he didn't kill himself or something.
Dude, he tattooed on his body or something like that. If they're claiming, I will never kill myself. If I'm dead, I didn't kill myself. And then they popped up saying he killed himself. He hung himself in a prison.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not...
That's Jeffrey Epstein.
No.
McAfee didn't go to jail.
Alright, well, I know he killed himself. I just don't remember how he did it.
Allegedly.
Alright, allegedly killed himself. But the whole point being, and again, it's a complete tangent, there's definitely a lack of incentive to say truth if nobody cares.
And like I said, Control-Alt-Delete.
Like, bro, I felt that way when people came out just saying, when Trump, I think it was in 2020, he got bitter that he lost. He just released a bunch of documents, and it just confirmed that UFOs are real. And everybody's like, oh my god, that's cool, but what does it have to... I still got to pay my bills. And on one hand, it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, this doesn't affect my day to day. But on the other hand, it's like, dude, people's lives have been ruined for decades over this truth. That people have been afraid to come out. Everybody's been shunned for it. If you said
Or
you
they've been
believe in aliens,
suppressed.
yep.
They
Like,
say they call you crazy and all types of
yep,
shit.
put you in an institutional home, all these different things. And it's like, dude,
God damn.
and they just come out and just say, yeah, well, you know, we couldn't just
It
tell
just so
you.
happens.
We could just tell you
just so
UFOs
happens,
exist. That
by
would create
the
a
way.
panic. And it's like, dude, what? No. You just ruined how countless people's lives over this. And it's like, so all those people's incentive, and it comes, this is how I feel about the science community, or a lot of that community as well, is even if they stumble across truths, if it goes against what they're being paid to research, there's like zero incentive to just pursue it. Because no one will care. Who cares if you go down in history as that guy who knew about aliens? If everybody was just ridiculing you, they called you crazy, and 20 decades later, or 20 years later, what do you want to call it, they say, yeah, it was true. It's like, dude, yeah, my life is over. It's ruined. It's like when they lock the guy up for 80 years because he did something. They let him out when he's 90. He's like, dude, my life's gone.
Same thing with Gary Webb.
What happened with him?
The same exact shit. So he was the dude who exposed the CIA for the whole crack shit, bringing the coke into the country. So by the time that and for the people, if you want to learn more about this, read Dark Alliance. By the time people started really believing that shit, the dude had already lost his job at the paper place that he was working at. That published all his shit, and I think he lost his family at that point too.
Yeah.
Then he killed himself,
quote unquote.
Quote unquote, killed himself.
Again, I don't know if this will get flagged if we talk about killing ourselves and suicide.
Control Alt Delete.
I'll probably edit it and just say unalived. I'll just do a recording.
Did you just say you went Control Alt Delete? I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, I mean,
you went Control Alt Delete.
I mean,
or
I'm a TikToker. I was cringed when they used to he unalived himself. I'm like, okay, bro.
I hate that shit.
It's like
that shit sounds so corny.
It does sound corny. That's why I don't want to do that. I don't know how I'll word it.
He unplugged his router.
His game shut down.
His game. Yeah, I like that.
I can't say that. People are like, "Are you calling all this and that?" I'm like, all right. But anyway,
I mean, technically,
it's not. Some people say it's. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway, then Describe said, "Quote: We aren't talking about people who've seen the error in their ways. These people are the ones running the world and are fine the way they are. Appreciate your optimism."
That's amazing, buddy. You'll never know why I'm laughing.
No, he won't.
I'll let you know it's funny as shit, though.
Listen, I'll keep this in too, because I'll be like, what is he laughing at? What the fuck is so funny?
I don't know, just the comments what the fuck is he laughing at?
Oh, what's Describe say? Matrix movie. Neo gets to the end of the line.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, hilarious. I'm probably going to start recording gameplay on Fortnite as well, but that one's going to be vastly more difficult to censor, so it's, yeah. But
Fortnite?
Some little golden nuggets that happen every now and then. That even you.
Oh, yeah. Bro, some golden nuggets. Fortnite is full of fucking... full of content.
Empty.
So, sayings, catchphrases, funny moments, screeches, panic, begging.
So that's all I'm going to
drama turns.
That's all I'm going to read from this article. Like I said, if you guys want to read it and more, you can always go to 12gates.org. I'll type it in for you here for those who...
Yes, sir.
12gates.org.
And follow me on...
Follow me on socials up on this
social media.
I don't have any social media set up for this yet. That's pending. Oh, actually, this channel, this dude does not have any kind of social media, bro. Don't listen to him. I mean, I guess I could plug your actual social media if you want. Is that what you want?
Nah.
I thought you wanted to stay anonymous.
We gonna stay anonymous with it. Let's see how it turns out. Let's just see how it turns out.
Yeah, because this is basically like a little podcast episode that with some editing, to be honest with you, like minimum editing. But yeah, maybe I'll post the audio on Spotify or something.
The raw shit. No, you gotta post it.
No. I'm not posting any raw audio of you talking. If you've lost your mind if you think I'm doing that. But I will keep basically all of it. I'm just gonna have to censor out when you say certain words. Because you did slip a couple in. Like I noticed when you said it too. I was like, whatever, bro.
Wait, what did I say?
You know what you said.
I don't know what I said. I was just talking.
You said. I'm going to censor this out. Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
I think it says stops recording.
I'm about to stop recording, yeah. Alright. Until next time, I'll see y'all.